Happy Sunday, geometry students. It's Mr. Lamb coming to you with the videos for the Unit 5 test review. Don't forget that the Unit 5 test will be given on Tuesday. Many of you sophomores will be out Monday visiting the Career Center. So just know that Monday we'll be using that as a work day in class where you can build your note card, your page of notes, or get your unlimited notes ready. So let's jump into question number 1 from the review. It says find the value of the variable that will make the polygon a parallelogram. Don't forget those 7 traits of parallelograms. This is where they come into play. So if I want to find G, I notice that one of my 7 traits is opposite angles in a parallelogram are congruent. So I know that this angle and this angle are the same. So I can set up an equation that says that G plus 4 is equal to 65. Obviously, solving this, we subtract 4 on both sides, and G is equal to 61. Then to find H, if it is a parallelogram, both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. So that means this left piece and this right piece are the same length. So I can set up another equation. It says 16 minus H is equal to 7. Subtract 16 on both sides. I'll get negative H is equal to negative 9. And then divide by negative 1, and I get H to be 9. There's question 1. Question 2. So again, if this thing is going to be a parallelogram, I know that the diagonals must bisect one another. The diagonals must bisect one another. So this piece up here that we call 5x has to be the same as the lower piece, which we call 4x plus 4. And if they're the same, I can set them equal. So 5x is equal to 4x plus 4. Subtract 4x on both sides, and x is equal to 4. Similarly, the other diagonal going from bottom to top, this 3y is going to be the same as the upper section, y plus 8. So again, I'll set them equal. So 3y is equal to y plus 8. Subtract y on both sides. 2y is equal to 8. Divide by 2, and y is equal to 4. X and y being the same is just a coincidence. Do not think that that always must be the case. That is absolutely coincidental. Jump down here to number 3. It says quadrilateral QRST is a rectangle. Rectangle is a special parallelogram. It's a special parallelogram in which all 4 corners must be 90 degrees. So this corner down here has to be 90. So I'm going to take both angles, that little piece, 4x plus 5, and the other piece, 9x plus 20. If I add those 2 things together, it has to equal 90 degrees. And again, it has to be 90 degrees because it's a rectangle, and those corners are all 90. So 9x plus 4x is 13x, plus 5 and 20 is 25. That equals 90. Subtract 25 on both sides. So 13x is equal to 65. And then divide by 13, and we get x to be 5. Okay, coming down here. This will be over the next 2 videos here, these directions. It says for questions 4 to 7, classify the quadrilateral first, then explain the reasoning, then find the value of x and y. Okay, so number 4 says the following figure is a parallelogram. angle D down here is a right angle. BD, here, this whole piece is 4x plus 3. And AC, I'll switch colors here. This diagonal here is 2x plus 35. All right, so the first thing I have to do is define what type of a quadrilateral it is. It's a parallelogram and it has a right angle, therefore it is a rectangle. And the reason, because of that right angle. Now, if it is a rectangle, one of the other properties of a rectangle says that the diagonals are congruent to one another. So this 4x plus 3, the red diagonal has to equal 2x plus 35, the gray diagonal. Subtract 2x on both sides, and then subtract 3 on both sides. Leaves me with 2x is equal to 32. Divide by 2, and x is equal to 16. That's it for page 1. In video 2, we'll be talking about page 2.